Jay-Z is done for. The man literally fled the country after his name dropped in the Epstein files, and Beyoncé just lost 10 million followers overnight. This whole situation has the internet spinning, because when your own mother-in-law hits unfollow, you know something's about to collapse. Everybody thought they knew the full story about Jay-Z's empire, the billionaire mogul, the untouchable king of hip-hop, the man who built Roc Nation from nothing. That was the version everyone repeated. But now, the US government just released files tied to Jeffrey Epstein's case, and Jay-Z's name is sitting right there in black and white. And suddenly, the whole narrative is twisting, because this isn't just about one name in one document. This is about Apple Music unfollowing him, the NFL unfollowing him. And for anyone who doesn't know, Apple Music and the NFL are the two organizations that work directly with Jay-Z to select the Super Bowl halftime performer. Jay-Z has had a massive role in choosing who performs at the biggest stage in entertainment. That's power, that's influence, that's money. And now, both organizations just publicly distance themselves from him. That's not a coincidence. That's a coordinated move. When corporations start unfollowing you, when your business partners start backing away, when your own family starts hitting unfollow, that's the beginning of the end. Fans online have been working like full-blown investigators. They're pulling up old interviews, they're comparing timelines, they're looking at Jay-Z's connections to Weinstein, to Epstein, to Diddy, and every single thread they pull makes the situation look worse. One person on Twitter wrote, "The bigger question is, why did TMZ take down the story? Because apparently TMZ posted about this and then deleted it. Why would TMZ delete a story about Jay-Z being named in the Epstein files? Who made that call? What pressure was applied?" That's the kind of detail that makes people believe there's a cover-up happening in real time. And then there's the Beyoncé angle. Beyoncé lost 10 million followers. 10 million! That's not just a number. That's merch sales walking out the door. That's concert tickets. That's her entire business model taking a massive hit because of her husband's name in a document. People in the comments are dragging Beyoncé into this too. One person wrote, "B is not innocent." And honestly, that's the conversation people are having now. Because if Jay-Z knew about this stuff, if he was around Epstein and Weinstein, did Beyoncé know? Did she turn a blind eye? Was she complicit? These are the questions tearing through the internet right now. Jaguar Wright has been talking about Jay-Z and Beyoncé for years. She's been called crazy, she's been dismissed, she's been laughed at. But now people are going back and watching her interviews. Now people are saying she was right all along. She went on Piers Morgan and said Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. She said the Carters are a nasty little couple who do nasty things. She said she has 3 victims willing to testify about what Jay-Z and Beyoncé have done. And the Carters tried to sue her. They sent cease and desist letters. They tried to silence her, but she didn't stop talking. And now, the Epstein files are making people wonder if she was telling the truth all the time. Now let's get into the motive, because this is where everything starts clicking. Jay-Z has positioned himself as one of the most powerful men in the music industry. He's not just a rapper, he's a mogul, he's a billionaire. He's got his hands in everything: streaming, sports, fashion, liquor, real estate. But power like that doesn't come from nowhere. Harvey Weinstein was the most powerful man in Hollywood for decades. He controlled careers, he controlled narratives, he controlled who succeeded and who disappeared. And he used that power to assault women for years. Jay-Z has similar power in music. He decides who gets signed, who gets promoted, who performs at the Super Bowl, who gets Roc Nation management. That kind of power, it attracts people who want to use it for dark purposes. And if Jay-Z was around Epstein and Weinstein back in 1996, that tells you what kind of circles he was running in. That tells you what kind of behavior he was exposed to. That tells you what kind of person he might have become. Think about it. Epstein's entire operation was about powerful men using their influence to exploit vulnerable people. Weinstein did the exact same thing in Hollywood, and now Jay-Z's name is connected to both of them. That's not a random coincidence. That's a pattern. And it gets worse for him, because Jay-Z has a history with young women that people are starting to re-examine. He started dating Beyoncé when she was 18 and he was 30. He had a relationship with Aaliyah when she was 15 and he was 26. 15 years old. And Aaliyah died in a plane crash in 2001 under circumstances that people still question to this day. Some conspiracy theories claim she was about to expose something. Some people claim she was silenced. Jaguar Wright brought up Aaliyah specifically. She said people are, quote, put on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Now, is that true? I don't know. But the fact that people are connecting these dots, the fact that Aaliyah's name keeps coming up in conversations about Jay-Z, that's something. And then there's the financial angle. Jay-Z is reportedly worth over $2 billion, but a lot of that wealth is tied to business partnerships. Roc Nation, Tidal, his deal with the NFL, his deal with Apple Music. If those partnerships fall apart, if Apple and the NFL cut ties with him, if brands start distancing themselves, Jay-Z's empire could crumble fast. That's what happened to Weinstein. One day he was untouchable, the next day he was in prison. That's what's happening to Diddy right now. One day he was a mogul, now he's facing federal charges and everyone's turning on him. Jay-Z could be next. And apparently he knows it, because reports are saying Jay-Z has left the United States and fled to an undisclosed location. He's gone. Why would an innocent man flee the country the moment his name appears in the Epstein files? Why would someone with nothing to hide immediately leave? That's not the behavior of someone who's confident in their innocence. That's the behavior of someone who knows what's coming. Put all that together, the Epstein connection, the Weinstein connection, the pattern with young women, the business partnerships falling apart, the family members unfollowing him, and now fleeing the country. It looks like the perfect recipe for a complete collapse. But here's the part that really hits different. The one who got caught up in the middle of all this was a young woman who was just living her life, the victim in the 1996 case. Her name is redacted, but the details are horrifying. She was abducted from her home. She woke up in a nightmare. She was assaulted while powerful men watched. That's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's sister. That's a human being who had her life destroyed because powerful men thought they could do whatever they wanted. And she's not the only one. Jaguar Wright claims she has 3 victims willing to testify about what Jay-Z and Beyoncé have done. 3 people ready to come forward with their stories. How many more victims are out there who haven't spoken up? How many people have been silenced? How many people have been paid off? The leaked details from the Epstein files show a pattern of powerful men using their influence to exploit vulnerable people, and Jay-Z's name is right there in the middle of it. That's messed up, because this isn't just about celebrity drama. This isn't just about social media unfollows and TMZ articles. This is about real people who suffered real trauma because men like Jay-Z, Weinstein, and Epstein thought they were above the law. And for years, they were. Weinstein assaulted women for decades before anyone stopped him. Epstein trafficked minors for years before he was arrested. Diddy is only now facing consequences for behavior that allegedly went on for decades. How long has Jay-Z been getting away with things? That's the question people are asking now. And the fact that Beyoncé lost 10 million followers overnight shows that the public is done protecting these people. The public is done making excuses. The public is done turning a blind eye. People want accountability. Now, this whole situation gets even crazier when you realize how deep the connections go. Let's talk about Lou Taylor for a second, because her name keeps coming up in conversations about powerful people controlling vulnerable celebrities. Lou Taylor was labeled the mastermind behind Britney Spears' conservatorship. She's the one who allegedly pushed for Britney to be placed under that legal arrangement that controlled every aspect of her life for 13 years. And Lou Taylor is close to the Kardashians. She's close to powerful people in Hollywood. She's connected to TriStar Sports and Entertainment, which has managed multiple celebrities who've ended up in questionable situations. There are reports that Lou Taylor tried to do the same thing to Lindsay Lohan, that she tried to get Amanda Bynes into a similar arrangement. This is a woman who allegedly uses conservatorships as a tool to control and profit off vulnerable celebrities. And guess who's connected to Lou Taylor? The Kardashians. Kim Kardashian just unfollowed Jay-Z, but Kim has been close to Lou Taylor for years. Kim was also friends with Britney Spears during the conservatorship. In fact, Kim just went on Khloe's podcast and talked about having a sleepover with Britney Spears. She said her manager Cade Hudson arranged it. She said Britney wanted some girl time. But people online are calling BS on that story, because Cade Hudson is another person connected to this whole web of control. He's a former agent who was fired from the industry after allegations that he used his position to exploit young men. And now he's managing Britney Spears? Why would Britney Spears, who just escaped a 13-year conservatorship, be managed by someone with that kind of history? It doesn't add up. And the fact that Kim Kardashian is promoting this innocent sleepover story while simultaneously unfollowing Jay-Z, it feels like damage control. It feels like the Kardashians are trying to distance themselves from one scandal while being connected to another. People in the comments are pointing this out. One person wrote, "Was it like her Make-A-Wish or something? So weird. I don't buy this. Run, Britney, run." Another person said, "They took Britney's money. I don't trust them." And honestly, that's the vibe right now. Nobody trusts these people anymore, because every time you pull one thread, 10 more appear. Every time you look into one person's connections, you find 5 more names that are all linked to the same dark stuff. Jay-Z to Epstein to Weinstein, Lou Taylor to the Kardashians to Britney Spears, Cade Hudson to exploitation allegations. It's all connected, and the more people dig, the worse it looks. What we're seeing here is a complete collapse of the old power structure in entertainment. For decades, powerful men in music and Hollywood operated with impunity. They assaulted people, they exploited people, they silenced people, and they got away with it because they controlled the narrative. But the internet changed everything. Now, when someone's name appears in the Epstein files, millions of people see it instantly. Now, when someone unfollows a celebrity, the whole world notices. Now, when TMZ deletes a story, people screenshot it and spread it everywhere. You can't control the narrative anymore. And that's terrifying for people like Jay-Z, because his entire empire was built on control. Control over his image, control over his business, control over who gets to succeed in the music industry. But now that control is slipping. Apple Music and the NFL unfollowing him isn't just about social media. It's about those organizations publicly signaling that they don't want to be associated with him anymore. It's about them protecting their own brands by distancing themselves from someone who might be toxic. And once that starts happening, once the dominoes start falling, it's almost impossible to stop. We saw it with Weinstein. Once the first accusation went public, dozens more followed. Once the first company cut ties, everyone else followed. We're seeing it with Diddy right now. Once the first lawsuit was filed, more victims came forward. Once the first brand partnership ended, others followed. And now we're watching it happen to Jay-Z in real time. The bigger conversation here is about accountability. For too long, powerful men have been able to do whatever they want because they had money, influence, and connections. They could pay people off. They could threaten people. They could use their power to silence anyone who tried to speak out. But that era is ending. People don't care how rich you are anymore. People don't care how famous you are. People don't care how many Grammys you've won or how many businesses you own. If you're connected to Epstein, if you're connected to Weinstein, if you're connected to exploitation and abuse, people want you held accountable. And Jay-Z fleeing the country shows that he knows what's coming, because innocent people don't run. So where does this go from here? Right now, Jay-Z is reportedly in an undisclosed location outside the United States. Beyoncé is dealing with the fallout of losing 10 million followers.
Apple Music and the NFL have publicly distanced themselves from him. But this is just the beginning, because if Jay-Z's name is in the Epstein files, there are probably more details coming, more documents, more testimonies, more evidence. Jaguar Wright says she has 3 victims ready to testify. If that's true, if those people come forward, Jay-Z's entire empire could collapse overnight. And it's not just about him. Beyoncé's reputation is on the line too. People are already asking what she knew. People are already questioning whether she was complicit. People are already saying she's not innocent. If more information comes out, if more connections are revealed, Beyoncé could face the same backlash. And then there's the legal side. Harvey Weinstein is in prison. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Diddy is facing federal charges. Could Jay-Z be next? If the victim from 1996 comes forward publicly, if she files charges, if other victims join her, Jay-Z could be looking at serious legal consequences. And fleeing the country doesn't help his case. If anything, it makes him look more guilty. Because again, innocent people don't run. The internet is watching this unfold in real time. People are tracking every move, every unfollow, every deleted post, every statement from his team. And so far, Jay-Z hasn't said a word. No statement, no denial, no explanation. Just silence. And that silence is speaking volumes. Stay locked in because this story is about to get even crazier. More details are dropping every day. More people are coming forward, more connections are being revealed. And reports say that federal investigators are now looking into Jay-Z's connections to Epstein and Weinstein. If that's true, this could turn into a full-blown criminal investigation. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Jay-Z is guilty? Do you think Beyoncé knew? Do you think more victims are gonna come forward? And what do you think about Apple Music and the NFL unfollowing him? Is that proof that something serious is happening behind the scenes? Let me know what you think. Make sure you like the video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update, because we're covering every twist that comes out. This is one of the biggest stories in entertainment right now, and it's only gonna get bigger. I appreciate you for rocking with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, and remember, the truth always comes out. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how long you've been hiding, the truth always comes out.